Appreciate your time, Frank. This gentleman has done wonders for sim racing, the real world racers that come into sim racing or go back and forth. Frank's responsible to get some guys out on track. So without further ado, Mr. Frank Swartz, Grass Paddock Motorsports, tell us what you do.
What do we call this thing? The Raycing Line. I'm all out of sync. We got more people to deal with this week than what I'm used to. So thanks to my co-host Jason for joining us. Adam's back this week, and as you can see, we got a fourth sitting here. Megan Oversheet is already joining us to help us do some reviews and stuff. So thank you, Megan.
Let's go, Megan.
And help us. Good evening, Greg.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Hey, we're just getting ready to review the spec racers, and since we had an announcer in the waiting room, we thought we'd go ahead and bring you in.
Well, thank you very much.
There he is.
Hey, we got him.
Hey, Jason, we got you this time.
Cheers, guys. Thanks for having me.
We won't talk about the other thing.
Our special guest for the evening, Mr. Dave Ogburn, and for Dave to introduce you to these two knuckleheads, you got.
Great to see you, Thor. Welcome to the fourth chair and the podcast this week.
No, thank you so much for having me. It feels surreal, like finally being able to talk to you guys. You know, I've been in this league for like what 2-3 years, and Yeah, finally face to face.
Oh,
Yes, of course, yes.
Jeff.
Put you on the spot now, Jeff.
Oh,
So, welcome, Mr. Jeff Jacobson. Again, great to have you here. Thanks for taking some time out to join us. We get to some fun part. That's why you're here, Jerry. This is our guest segment after the reviews. So, thanks for sitting through with us
that was fun.
and
Thanks.
yeah, it's some good racing. So, well, first of all, we gotta say thank you to Trenton for taking time to come join us. He's one of the hardest working guys I know, and you can look there in the shop behind him and get an idea of what he does. So as everybody sees, we've got Darren Ganji, and if you didn't know already, he is Mr. Sim Motion, where you can get all your sim rigs and equipment and everything. He's also the sponsor of that league we were just talking about.
Okay, go ahead.
Mr. Sean Ambrose, we go back forever, back to the very early beginning days of the Weekend Warriors when it was broadcasted on another broadcast, GSRC, I don't mind saying it. Very good to us. And Sean was one of the producers, announcers, always great to talk with. So, Mr. Edgar Sancinelli, Weekend Warrior, Frito Sport Racing. I don't know what all you do, but great to have you join us tonight, Edgar.
yes.
I'm not saying shit. Oh, see, I literally. Whatever,
Yep,
I give up.
there you go.
I know you've had a mute for me.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, when you
Yeah.
just for the views when Adam and you were there. I mean, it's
Yeah, it's
jeez.
Oh, yeah.
All right, welcome everybody. Episode, what is this? 23, the Racing Line. We're getting there. We're back. We're legal now. We're legal age, so we can have some serious fun. So, yeah, good to see you guys. Welcome back, Adam. You had a long week, huh?
It's been a very long week between me being the only person on my airplane, and we had drill this weekend, and C-130s never tend to want to fly. So yeah, it's just been a lot going on, but I'm glad to be here, and we got 3 days going into the weekend. I've got 3 days off, so I think you guys are going to see me on track a bit. I think Guido is going to be. I think Guido's going to be producing the FFs and the SRFs this weekend, so you might see me on track there as well.
Awesome. Yeah. JG did some racing this weekend too, so.
Yeah. It wasn't my best weekend, but yeah, it was still fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I was able to get in one of them anyway, and was in the booth with the guys for another, so it was a lot of fun. Antonio, Michelle, Tam, the regular guys in the chat, Jim, good to see everybody. Yep, what's Antonio saying? Yuppie, yay.
Yeah, that's leave it up to Antonio.
Okay.
Yanchi, the mysterious guest. You're gonna have to wait for that one, I think, buddy. Well, we can't.
Yep, not there yet. We've only got us three. So,
All right, let's get into this, huh?
all right, let's do some reviews.
All right.
I love it.
FV's Sebring Club.
But the green flag is out, and the drivers are on their way. And it's a very good start for Matthew Marcia and the number 78 car.
If I am lucky, I may be able to join the V's this Saturday.
Yeah, it's going to be a big field. They've been holding very, very steady.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
We're
I think we had a 34 or 35 for this race.
Yep. Good numbers. Good racing.
Yeah, Michelle, I know the volume's low on the V's. We have to keep it low so you can hear us talking over the top of it.
Flavio. Oh, there goes the.
Eesh.
Yeah.
Or Brian. I feel like Brian has gone flying during the race way too often this season. Yeah, battle was heated up at the front.
Yeah. Bananas.
Jim, V's were pretty clean, immediately showing a 3-car rollover.
Yeah.
Sort of like I did. I might have. Oh my goodness!
There you go.
Almost 4 wide there as I'm
So
talking, but
so
watch that
sketchy
one.
going side by side in the tower.
Oh yeah.
The race here and Jesus Rodriguez, who
I
just-
tried I tried twice to go around the outside of Thor, of Tor there. But I had to keep backing out when we got to Rabbit.
For him to get that move done, but he's got the good run on exit. Hang now.
This is the closest I got.
This is a shortcut layout that makes the club layout the club
At least you look good doing it.
Still
Yep.
side by side
Yep.
on corner exit. Holy cow! Looks like there's finally got single fly on.
Livery is so good.
I'm just not going to say
I
it,
know.
actually. Things are looking. This has been a great
Somebody did a good job.
Yep.
Oh, boy.
It might be missing a logo now, though.
Yeah, I know. Holy crap. Uh-oh.
Oh.
Is that some net code?
No. Well, it might have been a little bit of net code, but it was pretty much
Just
slightly not enough room.
just too close.
Absolutely. The front of the field
Got on the
is
curb.
giving us
Little
fun
too-
factor today, Ron.
Yeah, green car bad.
Green car
Exactly.
bad.
Little too aggressive.
We have
For
some of the
sure.
battles here, but hopefully it won't, as we're seeing too wide here in almost every corner around the track now. It is getting spicy out there.
Barely see him over there waving the flag.
Yep.
Mhm. And there's it's anyone's guess where the start finish line actually is.
Yeah, I'm sure it confused the commentators.
Yeah, it's hard to find that.
Oh, Ron got it.
We're gonna see at the end of
Yeah. They didn't see the white flag. So this is the last corner effectively.
But side by side racing, as much as they've been doing it in this
Ooh.
race, there's only 2 ways to connect.
Ooh. Shut the door.
Or just beat him on the brakes pretty much.
He nearly just spun it off into the infield. They're coming to the checkered though, so it's actually going to be the checkered flag.
Here
in
comes
the air.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I believe, unless I'm very much mistaken, it is going to be a photo finish between these two. Tulo ends up winning
And,
it. Holy cow!
Tor is
Wow.
just so good
Yes.
Yeah.
at photo finishes. Like it's incredible. I don't think
I don't think he's
I was
lost a
trying to-
close one yet.
exactly. Yeah, every time there's a photo finish, he always manages to come out on top. So
Yep.
So where's the
and
line?
yeah, it's around there.
Okay, that's fair.
Who knows exactly where it is? It's around there.
Whoa!
Ooh. Yeah.
That was our organized demo derby in Sunset, which wasn't a part of this layout. But Brian went flying again
Yeah.
on purpose this time.
Well, I guess there is something that we got to talk about here. Tor Tolo
Yeah.
Tolo won, obviously, the race and Spec 1, but there's a driver down here in Masters. May have the same
Yeah.
last name.
Yep.
And I believe
Let's go.
Tor mentioned that Tor and Nick, this is a first father-son duo that
Yep.
have won both of their classes in Weekend Warriors. So congrats to
Yep.
you two.
Yep, I'm
Yep.
in the same race. Well
Yep.
done.
Yep. Congrats to the Tulos.
And Tor,
we don't need to talk
yeah.
about Spec 2 winner. It doesn't really matter that much. Hey, I know you're
Let's
in
go,
here, Michelle. Congrats.
Yeah.
Even,
Michelle
even
is
though,
kicking butt in Spec 2 this season.
Mhm.
Yep.
She might get bumped up again. Look out.
Yeah, Michelle, how's that S1 looking? All right, on to the Formula Fords here.
Yeah, this was at Cadwell
Cadwell.
Park.
Yep. We're
Narrow,
praying-
twisty, short. Yeah, this was a beast.
Thankfully, no rain.
Yeah. There was some stack ups there at the start again.
Yeah. It didn't go. I was shouting at him. Oh, even though you couldn't hear me.
God, I hate this track.
Oh, this
Yeah,
track is so much fun.
It is a challenge. It's
Yeah, it's definitely very challenging.
Yeah, and there they go.
Oh, no.
There's just not much room, and it's very technical, so you've really got to be on it.
Antonio,
Yeah,
we showed your crash. I know Antonio
Yeah.
said I hope they didn't show it.
Poor Antonio.
It looks like there was minimal collateral damage. from those not
Yeah.
directly involved in the incident. So everybody doing a good
Richard
job of
Harwood.
getting through that incident without getting collected.
Yep.
Laying it
Yeah.
down.
Yeah, there was some question on what class he was in, and he was like a 3100 I rating, so he is Spec 2.
Wow.
He's top of the Spec 2, but he is a Spec 2 driver, and they were talking about him all through the broadcast being Spec 1 speed.
Safety truck that's parked there as well. The amount of times I've had to do that on my time on iRacing driving around this track would really beg or believe.
Yeah.
Driver, look at this. Some great drivers battling hard. That's Harwood getting the move done on Michael McConnell. McConnell getting shoved off the track coming out.
I had a lot of fun while I was in it. We had some good racing back in mid-pack. So
Chicane of turn number 6 and 7 down the hill, off it to turn 8, which on paper would be a good overtaking opportunity. It's a heavy braking zone, but that corner is so.
I think this week the official series is. I can't remember where they
At
are.
Alton.
Again, second time this season.
Oh
so that's why.
my God, Jason!
Yeah. Three wide on that track. Yep. That's why we changed up our schedule. We're going to be at Okayama. Yep. Oh, is this?
Yep.
Did you guys? Oh, there we go. Sorry. Yep.
Pretty sure the
Gone.
answer to that chicane,
I mean, it's not. I mean, rule number one. Rule
Don't
number one.
wreck.
Don't crash Stevie.
Yeah,
Stevie crash you.
Yeah.
I think that's his first race with us, so, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure he felt bad.
I thought he was a lap down. I couldn't swear to it, but looking on the scoring tower later, it apparently wasn't. But in my pea brain, I thought he was a lap down, so I didn't expect him to make a pass.
Yep.
The joys of the casual pit lane, only six pit boxes.
Yeah.
Gotta love iRacing.
Everybody's stepping on top of each other there in the pits.
This battle was incredible.
Final couple of laps of this race.
So McConnell even had a 2-second slower pit stop and retained the position against Garrett.
I think Soren was a little faster than Michael, but it is so difficult to overtake here.
Garrett doesn't look like he's saving fuel right now. He is full attack mode. We see him looking everywhere he can for a gap to stick that nose in, set up a move on the entry of turn 4. So he's going to close the gap up, and then he's looking, he's showing the nose. He wants McConnell to know he's there, but he's nowhere near close enough.
Man, McConnell is very, very good at defense, too.
Consistent.
Yep.
Yeah, he's consistent. Yep.
He's so calm and collected under pressure.
And let's see what the game is going to be between these two. Garrett's looking to get the move done, heading off into turn number 8, not close enough, though, throwing the dummy the way of McConnell as well, Randall. So only one racing action here from Cadwell.
It was so hard to pass on this track. I mean, you just had to be really patient and set it up for like one opportunity.
Flavio Indalo saying there should be a one-race ban for anybody who crashes Stevie.
Agreed.
Going on here. It looks like we got one side by side with
The battle for a second.
Actually, no, that's Buchanan and Tullo. My apologies.
Tullo again. Tor doing it. He's really stepped up this season in the Formula Fords.
Turn number 5. Will he got hung out to dry, though, is the real question. Is he going to back out of it? He has to back out of it. No real choice, but Buchanan, that's a good line for him.
Stevie adds weight to their cars. You get a 200-pound penalty if you wreck me.
Simply not close enough. Kicking off the second half of the season in style, rounding his
Yep.
way around the final
Ian
corner.
gets another win. Only 7.5 seconds. So
Yeah.
there's that.
Ian's he just in another. We'll have to do like SRG and put him in his own alien class.
Who was a couple of moments away from crossing the start-finish line to finish in P2. Tullo goes right at your podium in third.
Yeah, let's go ahead, Buchanan. Shout out to him. He does shares his setups on YouTube, so check out his channel under his name. If you need any help, he does lap guides as well.
Yeah, I thought I heard something about Ed Buchanan doing some of that stuff. So good to see him joining us.
I use his setups. I've been using his setups for the past couple seasons, so they're really, really good.
Oh, Guido!
I did it with my mind again. 2 weeks in a row, I'm able to make a move happen.
Randall.
Yeah. Randall and his osmosis moves.
summoning it there as we see
And
side-by-side
yeah, Jim,
fighting
Ed does
gonna
post
continue here.
his
Holy
Weekend
cow,
Warriors
riding all
races
over
on
that
his
cat
channel
car,
as well.
905 car, nearly running into the back of Salmon, who nearly ran to the back of Guido Morzuki. Time I will be I mean, I mentioned earlier on that I am slightly sick. So if we see some sort of jump chicanery here, I am going to be.
Yeah, I was
I'm probably
completely
gonna
out
be
of fuel.
blowing out my vocal
Oh,
cords.
yes.
Yeah, I
Have a
thought
slightly
so.
more
I was
subdued reaction
sputtering
than
before the
normal
line,
for
so
as we
I
see,
needed a little help to get
what
down the
sort
hill
of
here.
demons
Yep.
these drivers have up their sleeve. I think Jason Green is at gas. That or he's just assigned
Yeah.
Mm.
Get
he just shut his car off or something.
wait for it, wait
I
for
don't know
it.
what's
Oh,
going on.
boy.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
For me.
Here
That
it
is what we
comes.
got
Stand
going
by,
on.
guys.
Oh, boy.
Boom.
And then Tor says no.
No, not waiting for that.
Trent tried to carry me over the hill.
Jason Green definitely was out of gas, so managed to avoid.
That's the jump we were
getting- it's
trying to
out for
hit.
sure
Yeah.
fuel management, but is unable to complete the jump as we see them clearing that barrier pretty easily. That's a nice little setup there. So these drivers always.
That's always a lot of fun after the race.
Mm-hmm. Points, Ian Joyner again, obviously. Like you said, only 7 seconds. It was almost 8 at the line. We'll round that up. But yeah, Jorg again in the Masters. It's weird to see Jorg back there in 10th, but still won.
Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't caught on the broadcast, but apologies again to Mani and Trent. I had some skill issues in front of them, and Mani had to go evasive, and unfortunately got him and Trent got into a collision there because of me. So sorry again.
Well, it also speaks to how technical this track was. You don't see a Spec 2 driver down till 12th place for the top guy. So
Yeah.
it was a very
Excluding Richard Harwood, but yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Richard. Yep, forgot about him up there.
Yep. But
So
he's really good, yeah.
So they changed him obviously in the results, but Richard is Spec 2, so Richard technically won there.
Yep.
So yeah, congrats to Richard on your Spec 2 win as well.
But still, let's go, Boris. I think I want to say that's one of his better finishes.
Yeah.
So
Guido on the podium for Spec 2.
Absolutely. All right, one more. Let me guess, rain.
I mean, it might as well have been.
It was hot, 130-degree track temp. It was slick.
Yep, 59 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, I mean, you're down in Australia in the summer, so.
Yeah, 1 p.m. So, yeah.
In my entire time doing iRacing, bro.
I think Jason's your
Is that going to be worse
your
than
post
the
you put
rain?
on the replay said something about ice.
Yeah. Surf's on ice.
Yes.
I can assure you that this track is going to be about as slick as a slip and slide. But here we go.
Yeah.
The pace car going to make the turn to come down pit lane. The field now going to be in the hands of our pole sitters of Solo Shoki and Maurizio.
Yeah, this one, I sat in the booth on this one. It was a lot of fun to watch and talk about.
Still gets caught out a little bit by the green flag. It's actually similar to Sebring Club, where the green flag comes out when the pace car is still on the track.
Oh no.
Okay, I wondered how he got jumped so, because I mean they just split him one around both sides.
And then it wasn't caught on the broadcast, but then I thought he had damage, so I dive bombed him into this corner and passed him.
Might be seeing a little bit of red here. So we'll see if he's able to get some of these positions back, but he's got a long
That corner was always tighter than it looked. And just the few laps I did on it, I just always ended up in the grass by the trees.
So I dive bombed him, so I got past him, and then I went to brake for the chicane, and just nothing happened. The car just went straight.
Oh.
So, poor soul, I cost him a couple seconds there. Oregon.
Michael's having a good day.
Yep.
Absolutely. Sula Shubey is here really struggling on the opening stages of this race. He got kind of caught asleep. I don't want to say he was caught sleeping because the field was in his hands, but the drivers behind him were able to get a really good timed start off the pit. Sorry, the
barely cleared him.
Pit lane.
Josh, no.
Swarmed as we see the 17.
So easy to do.
Yeah.
I was braking way too late for that corner as well.
time for the end of this
That
race.
curb was, yeah,
Yep.
there he goes.
Behind, and, oh, it's
Joaquim, no.
heading off into turn number 1. That was Joaquim Osbeck.
And then we had the rubber top.
About this season,
Yeah.
something has clicked in
As-
his head,
Yeah.
and he's become
That top just sit there vibrating and bouncing.
Yeah, that in the patch by Racing released today, I think they fixed that.
Yeah.
Yanchik with a lot of damage as we look back at him. But something that's come alive in Tortulo, and he is on a tear this season.
Descend.
Oh, and look at
Let's
that.
move, Trent.
Kramer
Yeah.
trying to get the move done on Yan Sheik. See how things work out throughout the rest of this race in terms of these battles, because we've got them up and down the grid around a track like this. Usually think, yeah, not a whole lot of overtaking, but these drivers make
Michael
them
Odell
opportunities
keeps
where they're
doing
really
some of
easy
this,
to
and
Yanchi
he's
Lin,
going to be a
trying
good
get that move
S1
done in case it
guy
does
next
stop losing
season.
himself.
Mhm.
And Odell, will he be able to get it done a bit more successfully this time? No, Odell just
But
has
he shines on the
yeah,
on these technical
check out
challenging
the
tracks is where he
coming out
shines
of it. So that's
Yep.
going to allow Odell to
because of
remain
his real world.
as it stands currently. And touching back on the track
And
temperatures as it
how we're
stands
just
right
a little
now,
bit
Odell
over.
goes through turn number 5.
Yanchi's
That's
like,
going
"Thank
to
you very
allow
much."
Yanchi Lin to maybe get that move done. They're still side by side, heading their way through turn number 6. But Lin capitalizing on a mistake from Odell to continue to be a thorn in his side. Got some traffic to deal with as well, but Yanchi Lin going to make that move stick.
Right now, he's right on the rear end of Jason Green. We're going to see if he goes for a move here. Not really getting much of an opportunity.
Randall cursed me.
If you're going to be
Yeah,
I'm blaming it on Randall.
Yeah.
Make some time up. Jason Green is one of those drivers I wouldn't mind hanging out with as we see Jason Green running a
See,
Oh!
right there. Right, instant.
Yep.
So yeah, sorry again, Mauricio. That's 100% my fault. I lost the rear, and yeah.
If I do say so myself.
So.
That's fresh coming out of my mouth. As we see a moment here. Oh boy, that was interesting interpretation of track limits, I believe. As we see side by side racing, holy cow, heading off now. This
Yeah, the combination of or the super hot track kind of made the racing better, I think.
Yeah.
Because we had situations like this.
Through the hairpin. This is all for position. Even Michelle Lynn is in all this as well. So
Ron said, "Finally, the commentator's curse didn't come from me."
Absolute gaggle cars, and the pit window's open, so we're going to see somebody pit out of all this. Look out! We could.
Oh, the pit window's been open for about 15 minutes, guys.
Yeah.
Mayhem may be expected considering how close
And
these
everybody
drivers
that's-
are.
He wasn't there to set it.
Into the pits is
Although Dan
and
had a
Michelle
had a
Lynn,
drive
1.2
through.
seconds between those
Poor
two
Dan.
drivers. Right behind
That was
Glenna
close.
And Al-Shukwi covered by practically nothing.
Ooh,
You only have to go
buddy.
back to, about 0.8 of a second to find Yanchi Lin there as well. So this is really starting to heat up at the front of the field. It's Samoa. Oh my God! Up in the air is Sol Al-Shukwi. What in the heck happened there?
And it
Yeah,
looks like
so,
another
getting unlucky
incident where
again.
Leish had to check up, and the driver behind didn't have anywhere to go and just went through the final corner. We're gonna take a look here. It looks like he's
Then
pretty
Leish,
good
no.
so far. Oh, a little bit of a tank
The
slapper coming into the second
what are we gonna
turn.
call it? The
Here's a
wombat
little
den.
bit of whiting
Oh,
here.
yeah.
Sure enough,
Oh.
heavy lick with the outside wall.
Turned
Same-
in.
Same thing happened to Michael Odell as well, right in front of me.
Yeah.
Felix Samoas. They're going to have a drag race coming out of it, though. Samoas out on the racetrack. Lynn now rejoining it. He's on the inside line. These two side by side, heading their way out of turn number 1 into turn number 2 right now. And Yanchi Lin going to intimidate Samoas and make his way up to the front, but still not over.
Not around the
Samoas.
outside,
They gotta try and
Felix.
fight back around
Surely
the
not.
outside through turn number 3 on the inside line through 4 and 5, unless Yanchi has anything to say about it. There he goes.
look at
checks
that.
up a little bit. Now
Send.
checking that inside line, but
You
look
make
at
it
the
stick.
defensive maneuver. from
Oh, he's
Felix
going
Samoa.
wide.
Here we go, though, on exit. Look at that. Samoa's sideways, slideways coming at turn number 5. Is going to give Lynn.
No, Ron, that's the first time I've heard sideways, slideways in a long time. I'm glad you finally got it back, buddy.
Wheeling that thing around this track. He wants the second win.
Incredible
So
move by
close
Felix.
to
That was
He knew
good.
he had to get past
Yeah.
there.
That was a move.
Style with the checkered flag. But if he wants to get
He doesn't give up. He's
No.
he's going to race you all the way.
Yeah, well, the same with Yanchi.
Yep. Yeah.
This
Those
battle
two.
was incredible.
We're going to see now if Felix Samoas can keep those tires tamed, because he did a lot of over driving through that section to keep that position. And now,
Little out in the dust. That's
trying
it.
the outside, and
Over.
These guys are so close. It's almost certainly going to be a 39 lap race, and I was absolutely
Last
incorrect.
lap.
White flag
Oh.
in the air from Barney.
I thought that
This
was
is
the last lap when he went out in the dirt a while ago.
trying to hold off the challenge.
Did he call him Barney? Randall calls him Barney, the flag man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wants a number 1 in their results tab here at Winton, but look at that, Lynn nearly trying to bump and run on Samoas, heading their way through turn number 7 for the last time in this race. There comes the white flag this time by. You got some traffic a little bit farther up the road.
Yeah, we had some sound.
Is that you?
Sound
Is that you on
effects.
the soundboard, Stevie?
Yeah. Yep.
Stevie's running the soundboard down there.
Yep. I was having some fun. We had a womp womp and a little horn get out of the way, and
Great
Wow.
job, both Felix and Yanshi.
yeah, that was a great race.
Especially Yanshi making up the gap because he got a little cut out with Maurizio's spin at the start. So I think he made up like 4 or 5 seconds to get caught up.
Yeah.
Which is really, really good at this track.
Probably a good portion of it in the pit.
Yeah, it was 2 or 3 seconds in the pits. Mike, let's go, Michael. And let's go, Tom.
Fantastic way to get the second half of the season underway.
Where's Jason? Well, I'm glad you guys enjoyed the sounds. Tam and Flavio both. Yeah.
Asphalt patch, and there's the asphalt patch that I was talking
I
about.
may or may not have had a couple of adult beverages that kind of encouraged that. So we did have some sounds during that broadcast.
Oh boy. It was a
It's like a demo derby over there.
Yep.
Demo derby area.
This is one of the tracks where there's a lot of exploring you can do.
Oh yeah, I see this.
The first race of the season at Bathurst. So I don't know what it is with Samoas and these Aussie racetracks. They seem to be serving
Yeah.
well.
Yeah,
All
let's
right.
go, Felix. Let's go,
Yeah.
Yanshi.
That was way closer than the FFs, I can tell you that.
Maurizio with a great recovery as well.
Yep.
And Chris Hewson is another good finish from him, his second race with us.
I started to say he hadn't been but 1 or 2. So.
Yep. Michael Odell, even with the encounter with the wombat curb, the wombat's den, he manages to get P8s. And then let's go, Tom, getting the Masters win.
Ben Rycroft is that his second or something? He hadn't been around too many times either.
I think he's been here most of this season.
Okay.
Is he Frito Sport? Is he?
He
He's
says
Felix's
privateer, so yeah.
I think he's on. He's actually on Felix's team.
Okay. Yep. Silver for him, bronze for Jan.
And then Jan with a great finish as well after getting that damage. So, lots of good races. Tour as well, P11.
All right, Stevie. Well, you're up.
Yeah, let's see if I can do
Hi,
a
guys.
share for some points here.
Oh yeah, that's a good point, Flavio. The 2 Aussies taking first and second in Masters.
All right. There you go. There's the season standings to date. Starting with the V's. Look who's there on top, running away.
For now.
But you haven't had any drops yet, have you?
Correct. Yeah.
And Tor's had a couple of drops. So look out.
And I've pretty much used up my drops. To be honest, I've got I'd been in 2 incidents, and then or I guess 3 if we include Lime Rock. So I pretty much used up all my drops as well. So it's gonna be close.
It's on for the rest of the season.
Yep. Especially if Tor keeps winning everything.
Yeah. You didn't need him to pull that one off, did you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then Nate, not too far behind. He's hanging in there.
Yep.
Michelle got the win going in Spec 2. Andrew Love's come up. Dan wasn't there, I don't think. So Dan dropped a place. And you can see Mr. Jorg's got a number 2 beside him. He's second overall in the standings.
Yep.
But got a commanding lead in the Masters with Jim and Nick following in suit.
And actually, Monty had he had a super unlucky weekend in all 3 races. So even with that, He's still the janitor.
Oh yeah,
sweeping everything.
Yeah,
clean it
yeah.
up.
Oh, okay. Dan says he was there, but it's his last race for a while. So
Gotcha.
we'll miss you, Dan. Ian, kind of running away with it in the Formula Fords. He's just like we said, we need to have an alien class for him or something.
He's gone.
JG, best of the rest with Michael not too far behind you.
Mm-hmm.
Boris and Jeff Wubker is
Let's go, Boris.
Yeah, that's a tight battle there in Spec 2. And I don't know how many races they've got versus how many Guido's got, but that could come on towards the end of the season as well.
Yeah, I don't think Guido's done all the races.
Yeah. And he's going to be in doing some producing and working for us, so he that might drop out there.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, Mr. Sweetman, Jorg Monty, kind of running away with Masters again, second overall. Antonio's and John Tom's bringing up the rear in that group.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And speaking of unlucky races, Antonio was also super unlucky in the Formula Fords. And I forget if he did the SRF race or not.
SRF, Felix, after that close win there, kind of jumped out a little farther on you.
Yep. Yeah, Felix is consistently getting at least top threes. He might have a drop week as well that he'll use. So yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to challenge him, especially with the tracks for the remainder of the season. So, well, we'll see. Do my best.
Brenton is about 100 points behind you too, and again, not sure how many. Maybe I ought to start looking at how many races everybody's got, because the drops and the end of the season coming in, that's going to really shake things up.
For sure. Yeah, we're getting to that part of the season as well.
Yep. Dan has got the lead in the Spec 2. Ben has been there. Like you said, he must have been there all season. And P-Brain here missed it, I guess.
He's been improving his consistency. So both
him
Dan
and Paulo.
Ben, so.
Yeah, him and Paulo and locked for step there. Jorg, he's slowing down in the Spec Racers. He's only third overall instead of second.
Yeah.
But he's still got quite a lead there over Brad and Antonio.
Yeah, Ron said, he goes, the fact that Jorg is top 3 overall in all 3 series is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Incredible.
For an old guy, and for the viewers that may not know, I mean, Masters, those guys in gold down there at the bottom are all 60 years old or older. So showing that the old guys still can do it.
Yeah, and Monty is I don't think he puts in as much practice the past couple of seasons, but he doesn't need to, because he's just alien level pace. He can pretty much just jump in and do that.
Yeah. All right, I got one more screen I want to share before we get into the guest segment.
I was going to do it if you weren't going to, Stevie, but you got it.
Yeah, let's see here if I can find it again. Boom. Where's my where's my sound effects? It doesn't work here. But I've got one of my sons is in there, Eric Ray. A couple of you saw him, and that's my number one, my oldest son. So good to see you, Eric. Appreciate you joining in, and happy birthday to you. There
it is. I got you, Stevie. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Eric.
Yeah, him and my number 2 son from my second wife, Greg, have the same birthday, 7 years apart, different mom. I don't know how that happened. But anyway, happy birthday to 2 of my sons there, Eric and Greg, both of them up in Tulsa now. So happy birthday, guys.
Yeah, happy birthday to you too. I apologize for having Stevie as your dad all these years, but
brutal.
There could be worse people. I can tell you that much.
So, all right, our special guest segment. The super secret guest. Are we ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You ready?
Yeah, let's bring him in.
They're already here.
Yeah.
Adam and JG is our special guest. we have we didn't arrange for anybody, and then I didn't really push it too much this week. And I thought there's a ton of stuff going on that we can talk about. We haven't really talked to you guys a whole lot about your background and everything, and thought, okay, let's have a fun chat and talk to Adam and JG and talk about the new team we got going, and I mean, we got a ton of stuff. So, Adam, tell everybody what you mentioned it a few times before. But
Yeah.
what do you do for a living?
Hi, guys.
And how does sim racing play into that?
My name Adam and Jason Tunney, says Michelle. That's good. That's good, Michelle. But yeah, Stevie, the Tunney joke goes back. We were watching some figure eight racing a few weeks ago, and that was the Tunneys. We got to get one of the Tunneys. Stevie, you got to get on getting one of the Tunneys in here. We got to ask them about. But yeah, anyway, sorry. Back to me. Well, hi guys. My name's Adam. I'm 33 years old. Am I 33, babe? She's going to listen to it. By the way, Sarah's watching the podcast. I'm 32 or 33. It doesn't matter. But been in the Air Force, the Air National Guard, since I was 23. So 10-year mark was in September. So started, born and raised in a small town in Paris, Illinois. I tell everybody I'm from Terre Haute, Indiana, though, because it was right across the line, and that's where I went to school and all that stuff. So big race fan all my life, obviously. Being raised and born an hour away from Indianapolis Motor Speedway is kind of something that it just kind of gets in your blood. Huge basketball fan as well. Those are the two sports that we've got over there in Indiana that are pretty big. But Purdue flag, you can kind of see it on the wall back there. You saw it for a bit. I went to Purdue for a while, and I was like, well, this sucks. What am I going to do? So I joined the military to try to get the rest of schooling paid for. Still haven't finished college, but I'm now a mechanic. I was a mechanic on KC-135s for 8 years. Crew chief, actually, because Stevie was also a mechanic, but I was a crew chief, or am a crew chief, and then I moved up to Reno, Nevada from Phoenix. So, I forgot a part. I moved from Indiana to Phoenix to join the Guard as KC-135 crew chief, and now I'm up here in Reno. We just wanted to change in pace, my wife and I, and so here I am, and that looks like Greg just joined the chat as well, Stevie. So so here I am up in Reno, expecting our first child very soon, April 6th, actually. I think Sarah can probably correct me on that one too. But we're just hanging out, waiting for the baby now, enjoying the nice weather. We haven't really gotten much snow up here, but it's a little backstory. I met you guys, though, through slow motion broadcasting, another thing that I did on the side. I still do, unfortunately. Josh, Stevie. I started slow motion broadcasting, got into iRacing around 2019, started my own league, which we still have running through XSLR, and we needed some broadcasters, so we went to Apex Racing, and we hung out with Apex Racing for a bit. Well, first it was Pit Stop TV, and then it was Apex Racing. I was like, man, there's got to be a way for me to do this, right? So I started looking into it and started slow motion broadcasting. And here we are 5 years later. I've met all you guys through SMB, and it really has been a blast. And SMB has been such a blessing to me to meet people like you, friends I can call. I mean, obviously, I haven't met you in person yet, Jason, but I know you've met Stevie in person, and Stevie's met me in person. So it's a big convoluted family we got going on here.
Exactly.
So it's been a ride, to say the least. But here we are.
Yeah, that wasn't Greg that popped in. That was Jeff, my other number one son.
Oh, okay.
with wife too. Yeah. So
got it.
Yeah,
I was about to say, how do you get Jeff from Greg?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Greg is working. He's working a double shift today, so he's having to work his birthday. So we'll think about him. But all right, your turn, Mr. JG2. What do you do, and how did all this stuff play into that?
I'm Jason.
Hi, Jason.
Hi. I'm in accounting. I work for the state of Texas in audit division.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So yeah, just tax auditor for sales tax. But yeah, grew up in Florida, or had the misfortune of growing up in I was born in Jacksonville, Florida. Grew up in St. Augustine, Florida, where they actually have a short track there. I couldn't tell you how long it is, but I don't know, like a half, not even a half mile track, quarter mile track maybe. But yeah, I used to when I was a kid. My dad took me to go watch races there because I was really into NASCAR. So we got to go watch those every, I think it was like every Friday night or something. Really wanted to get into karting, but my parents probably made the smart decision of not letting me do that and kill myself doing that. So so yeah, kind of forgot about racing for a while until I don't know what until I got into the F1 games over COVID. Um, got my wheel, got my rig. Got into There's a Bucky's in Jacksonville. I didn't know that. Okay. Sorry. But yeah.
All kinds of information. That's one thing we're going to do tonight too, guys, is we're going to get a lot more input from you guys, questions, and we're going to respond to those here. Sorry to interrupt, Jason, but that's kind of what this night's all about.
Fabio. Oh, that was good. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, I can't disagree with that statement. But yeah. Yeah. So I got into the F1 games. Similar to who were we talking to last week?
Carrie. Was it Carrie?
No,
No, it was Guido.
No, it was Guido.
Jeez,
Guido.
yeah.
Similar to what Guido was saying when he got into the racing games, because I at least starting out, I considered myself more of a gamer rather than a sim racer. So when I got the F1 games, I was like, well, it was actually a decision of because I was also playing golf a lot at the times. Do I get new clubs or do I get my sim rig? And COVID started and everything closed, so I was like, well, guess I'm getting a wheel.
Yeah.
So then I got into the F1 games, and learned to guess the AI on those games. Just tried multiplayer, but that experience is just horrible. There's really no racing against real people in those games. It's just a horrible experience. So yeah, I got burned out in those games, and I was maybe gonna stop racing, and then I forget how I saw it. Maybe I watched a video or saw a stream or somehow saw iRacing. I was like, well, let me look into it. Saw how people are complaining how expensive it is and everything like that, but saw that there was a free there's still like the free content with the V's and the Mazdas. So I was like, I'll give it a try. And then I was hooked. Got into the V's, did a couple scenes of those, and then I think in the second full season of those, I started looking into leagues. Saw either I forget if it was just like a forum post or somebody mentioned it in an official session, but heard about this Formula V league on Sundays, called the Weekend Warriors, and yeah, I did my first race at Interlagos. It was on a broadcast, my first broadcaster race. Made the broadcast because I spun twice going into turn 4 at Interlagos. It almost crashed out the leaders. So so yeah, humble beginnings.
What goes around comes around, doesn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, it's been an incredible incredible journey since then. Just meeting everybody in this incredible community, and and Adam as well, I guess. But
and Adam,
you don't have to lie to make friends, Jason. It's fine.
Yeah. So that's pretty much everything with that.
Yeah. Well, one thing led to another, and we got SMB in, and we kind of intertwined SMB with Ray Esports and myself and all that. And the latest thing that's popped up is a new team. So you guys want to talk about that?
Yeah, I don't quite know how we got drug into this one.
I don't either.
But yeah.
What do you mean you don't know? It was your idea, Stevie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know Stevie knows. No, I remember Stevie mentioning it. And, you know, I waffled about it for a minute, and then we ran that Daytona 24 race. And, you know, looking back a couple days later, obviously, when you run 24 hours, nobody wants to talk to anybody after the race. But, you know, we took a couple days, and I was like, man, that was a lot of fun. And I think we just decided to start it. Slow motion racing is going to be racing spelled RAYCING, by the way.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've got a team going. I think the first team event that we're doing is going to be Bathurst coming up here in a couple weeks in the GT3s, but we've opened it up to anybody. If you want to do those special events by yourself, you'd still be on the slow motion racing team, the Indy 500, Daytona. I know there's a couple World of Outlaws and the sprint cars, stuff like that. So we're going to kind of get a lot of people in there. Jeff Jacobson, I think, is going to be super into running all of those special events on the ovals, as will I. But yeah, just keep an eye out. I'm going to try to figure out a way to, broadcast it if at all possible. I don't know if that'll be possible, especially with me running. But yeah, we got some paints coming out. I think, Jason, I'm basically the paint guy here, and you're the team guy from what it sounds like. So, looking at the Discord these first couple weeks, I can already see that this is going to be a very serious undertaking, Jason.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Still trying to wrap my head around it. Just to get everything sorted. But yeah, looking forward to Bathurst for sure. Probably going to be running at least two teams, like one team in McLaren, which I think Stevie will be on, and then maybe two teams in Ferraris. Just do the numbers, one or two teams. So yeah, looking forward to that. Yeah, the team aspect of it is or the team enduros are just so much fun. It's so different than the individual races that you run. And it's just I don't know. I enjoy the team races sometimes more than the individual races, just because you're able to be there with your team. You get when you screw up, you get some support from your teammates.
It takes the community to another level, really, and within that. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And slow motion racing is going to be all over the place. You're going to see we got logos for that. And
the big, massive shout out to Rob Schwenkler, by the way, for making those logos. He hit us with the first ones, and I was like, that's it. I mean, it's everything I wanted. I wanted to try to incorporate the slow motion broadcasting and the Ray Esports logos into one, and he did it right off the bat. So at the end of this broadcast and the outro video, you'll get to see that top left-hand corner of the screen he did such a good job. Knocked it right out of the park.
Oh, we got franchises now. Yongshi's gonna run our franchises for us.
There we go. Yep. Yeah, we'll get some merch going, Yanshi. We'll hit you up. We'll get a franchise. If anybody wants to start another team, obviously you got to pay us royalties, but we'll get there.
We get part of the winnings.
Exactly. Yep. 100%.
Got a few questions.
Jeff's saying he wants to do the full NAIS season. So if anyone wants to do those with him, once the IndyCar season and the F1 season gets started up again, I'm going to be running all of those as well, like the full length races. So if anybody wants to hop in into those with me, we can't run the custom paints in the F1 car, sadly, but definitely in the IndyCar we can. So there's one less car you have to paint out.
Oh, thank God. Yeah, I mean, I was looking there when we had that vote up earlier or last week or so. Yeah. I'm looking, and everybody. I'm talking to you, by the way, JG1. Jason Greider voted for every single car, and I was like, there is absolutely no way I'm going to make a paint for every single GT3 car.
Oh.
So I think we've
Oh,
narrowed
man.
it down, at least for now. I saw some Porsche votes, but for now it's
Oh.
going to be McLaren and Ferrari. So
Yeah,
I sent Stevie a little sneak peek of the Porsche or the McLaren paint that I've been working on, and it's going to be sick.
Yeah, that's good. Yep. Oh, we've got some good nicknames coming up now. Jason the Tax Man.
I regret that already.
Adam Gasless Thompson.
Oh,
so.
yeah. Yeah.
You're not going to live that one down, Adam.
No, I know. Even though Michelle did it first, but whatever.
Yeah,
We're not going to go there.
Yeah, but she got off the track.
So why don't we, speaking of, we can open this up a little bit to, I don't think we've done this in the past.
Well, Flavio's got a question for Jason. Is what made you decide to get into the SRFs, Jason?
100% the community. It was not the car.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I hopped in the SRF. It was the because I was already in the V League.
Yeah.
And then we had the
We didn't have the Formula Ford going at that time.
correct, yeah. So we had the big grid runoffs race. The V's went first, and then as that race was wrapping up, Stevie got on the mic. Was like, we still got spots for the SRF race if you want to hop into that, or anybody wants to hop into it. So I was like, okay, I'll take a look. I never even hopped in the car. Never even loaded a session with it. It was at Mid Ohio.
Oh yeah. Yep.
I could not finish a lap. Like it was straight into quali because the way we had the run-up set up like that.
Yep, they overlaid each other. Yep.
Didn't get any practice, so you just hopped straight into quali. Got to the end of the out lap, and I was like, I am just gonna wreck everybody. This car is horrible. It drives like a bathtub. And I'm just gonna cause issues. So I quit out of that. It's like I don't want to run that car. But yeah, eventually I tried it again. And it was like, well, I mean, I don't have anything else to do on Sunday, so let's try to run that car. And yeah, it kind of grew on me, and
It takes a while
to drive with. I think I was mainly driving with Monty, Chris Murakami, and Antonio starting out. So those three guys helped me a lot to
The old
learn how to
guys.
drive that car. Yeah.
The old guys led you.
So yeah, shout out to them for sure.
Yep. So what is your favorite car that you run the series in iRacing?
Probably the W13.
Okay. Adam?
Oh, well, my league. That is extremely tough for me. The way that I've always gone about iRacing is being able to run everything. I mean, and I love the V's. I love the GT3s. I am not a huge fan of the F1 car. I can't do that. But IndyCar, I do. I mean, we've done it in the league before. The Pro 4 trucks are always fun.
Yeah.
I mean, and then you get into the sprint cars. Probably the 305 doesn't really have enough umph for me, but the 360 and the 410, both wing sprint cars are a lot of fun. I mean, if you were to put me on the spot right now, I would say that the best success I've had in iRacing in a car, believe it or not, is a 10 top, and it was the Aston Martin GT4.
Oh yeah.
Now, I don't know if that says that that's my favorite car, but that is at least the most success. But dude, favorite, I don't care. I'll run anything. Like you put me in any car and I'll run it. That's why my I rating is so low, because I don't care. I just enjoy racing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and there's Ron saying that you can't beat this community for being welcoming, even for people who are in over their heads.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it doesn't take you long. I mean, you're over your head to begin with, but we'll help you. So
yeah, no, it is. Go ahead, Jason.
And Jason's been improving a lot too, so don't undersell yourself there, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, again, to anybody, we've got another league coming to Slow Motion Broadcasting here very soon.
In February, later this month, right?
Yeah, February 16th is going to be the first race. So
middle of the month.
Yeah, so we've got XSLR coming. We've got a few. Yeah.
championship.
We've got a few people coming in already from the Weekend
Oh.
Warriors. We'd love to see
there's
more of
Greg.
you. Huh?
There's Greg in the chat.
Oh yeah, there's Greg. Hi, Greg.
Yeah. Birthday boy.
But yeah, I'd love to see some Weekend Warriors hop on track with Stevie's in it, Michelle's in it. Jason might run a few of them. I know that conflicts hugely with faux speed.
Yeah, and I'm gonna run the GT3 races.
Yeah, so we've got
gonna
Jason.
wait till the very end of the season, make sure Adam doesn't win the championship.
Yeah. We've got JG1 going to be running as well. So yeah, we've got quite a few drivers. I think a few more. Brad Cathcart just joined.
Yeah, brought a lot of them over from Weekend Warriors.
Yeah, we've got quite a few. Carrie Anderson is in there. Mark Cohn has joined as well. I mean, we've got a bunch of people that have hopped in. Jeff Jacobson. So yeah, I'm super stoked to see how this season goes, and I think this is probably going to be the best one yet for XSLR, just due to the size. And that's one thing I must say. I've got it. When you asked me, Stevie, I've got to get back to that. You asked me my favorite car, and this is the one reason why XSLRs normally their grids are pretty small. It's because we go across all 4 series, but I'm telling you, you will enjoy yourself so much more than you think you will when you just step out of that comfort zone. You've got people in there to help you, just like the Weekend Warriors as well. Just step out of that, and then you will be confident. And so if you're on a late night iRacing session, maybe drinking something other than water, and someone's like, hey, let's go do this. Hell yeah, man, let's do it. And you're not worried.
Let's try it.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the one thing I will say about XSLR that I want to keep telling people, and that's the whole reason that we've come out with it. But yeah, Greg, in the chat, happy birthday, man.
Happy birthday, Greg.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad to see you in. Glad to see you in here. And like I told the other one, I'm sorry Stevie's your dad, but I've known worse people, to say the least. So happy birthday, Greg.
Yeah, that's kind of awesome. I got all 3 of my boys in here tonight, so kind of cool.
But
all right,
Stevie, I do. Michelle, I would run the jumpy trucks, but I don't own that one. But I have 100% win rate in jumpy trucks. So I've run one official race. I led every lap, qualified on pole, and so I can't ruin those stats anymore. So I can't run any more races. But yeah, I'm horrible in sprint cars though.
I went and got him and joined some of his practice sessions, and it was just a ton of fun. So that's why I had to sign up and try to Sunday nights. So, I mean, what else other than faux speed?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I'll have to probably have to change the when I'm running the GT3 races. I'll have to move faux speed around a little bit. But
yeah, sorry, Jason. I obviously
else to host it.
When I started recruiting people into XSLR, faux speed obviously never crossed my mind, and then all of a sudden I was like, there's a problem here.
If enough people get in that, I might have to move faux speed up an hour or something like that, but we'll see.
Michelle, the first sprint car race is February 16th, and we're going to Eldora. That's going to be the first one this season. So, it's coming up pretty quick, and I'm going to try to get some practice sessions up this weekend when I'm not. Obviously, I won't be doing much other than making paints. So, yeah, we'll get some practice races up and try to get some people in there. But, Stevie, you asked us.
Yes, sir.
You've asked us, and we got a few minutes here, so... you put us on the spot. Why don't we put you on the spot? You've never given us your you've never given us your full story, Stevie, because it's a very, very interesting one, to say the least.
No. Well, I grew up with SCCA and sports car racing. My dad was a mechanic. My uncle at the time was the driver owner. My aunt married him and for a short amount of time and divorced. And they had he had 7 kids that became my cousins and have been through life. And so I literally grew up at the track on weekends. We'd hop in the car once, twice a month on Friday after school and drive all night, get to the track, spend the weekend, and drive Sunday night back and then go to school Monday morning. So that was my very early teen. I think we even started when I was like 10, 11 years old doing that. So it was a lot of fun. And later on, with an Air Force career, I started off in avionics, and I the flight simulator shop asked for a couple of people to come over and run the console, operate the sim, free their guys up, do maintenance. And I thought that sounds kind of cool. I'd like, I'll go over there and do that because I enjoyed everything about flying. That's why I went in the Air Force. And so I got onto the simulators and got hooked. And at that point in the Air Force, when you had 3 years in, you could apply to cross train. And I was in a high demand, what would they call it? Critical career field. It was shortage. And the only way out of it was the only way out of it was going to another shortage. So I had to wait until simulators hit a shortage on a certain month. And then I applied and got accepted and had to wait for like 8 months at Holloman on the F-15s. And I got to go on loan to the simulators. So I had like a year working on simulators before I even went to school. So yeah, that was a lot. And then my first base was Altus on the big C5 Galaxy simulators. And that's where Eric came along, was at that point. Few years there and then back into avionics. And then I became an instructor and went overseas to England for about 5 years. And that's where Jeff and Greg and my daughter came along. So all that happened. So yeah, that was the F-111s.
You're showing your age now, Stevie.
Yeah, I'm showing because they're in the museum.
F-111s, my God. We've got one of those hanging on our wall in our heritage room, and there's a lot of dust on it. So that thing hasn't been moved in a long time, Stevie.
Yeah, heritage room. Wow, you didn't have to mention that part.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the last couple of years in the Air Force, my wife at the time got some money and got me a race car. And that was my dream in my life, was to go racing. And I got to go to a 4-day driver school with SCCA. And the cars they provided that we ran were spec racers, the Gen 1 with the Renault. So I got 4 days in that and I really enjoyed it. And a spec class. So the guys with a lot more money had more spare tires and fancier paints, but they still had to outdrive you. So I thought, okay, I'm going to do that. And I was able to get me a race car. So that's where my racing on track got started, was doing that for a few years. And got out of the Air Force, went full time with a team that had my car and traveled 6 months doing that, crewing and doing instructing. I had my national license and did some stuff. So got that, but I always had the bug for racing, and found myself eventually back in simulators, Southwest Airlines flight simulators. And one night on midnights, I was searching. I said, "There's got to be." I'd done a little bit of flight sims, and I thought, well, "There's got to be something racing sim." So I found iRacing, and I thought, "Okay, we're going to try this." And then I saw I had the spec racers, and I thought, "Yeah, I'm gonna kick some butt." So I get my rig set up, little portable stool and everything, and I get in there, and I couldn't keep the damn thing on track. So this is going to take a little bit. So yeah, that was my driven into that, and dropped it after 3 months, went away, came back, picked it up 3 months later or something, and really just jumped right in, and found the spec racers was it for me. That was my focus, and did some races. And there was a league going at the time that Luca Verani had, was the IGP Fun League. So I tried that, intimidated as hell the first time I get in the league and stuff. And I thought, and I did that, and I thought, this is kind of cool. You get to know the people, and just like SCCA and all that. And that's kind of cool. And a couple of years later, I think it was, maybe, the Renault Formula cars came out, and Luca went on with that, and I started the Weekend Warriors, even though I think we had to start on Thursday nights or something because there just wasn't a slot on the weekends. So we kicked it off there, and the Weekend Warriors was kind of born, and that was 2015. And since then, it's been a ride. It's a lot of fun. So many good people in the community, and I said, I can't say how much it means to me. see the Weekend Warriors grow and expand and add the Formula V's and then the Formula Fords and come into SMB when I got a little frustrated over with the other broadcaster and Adam. We just kind of connected, and that was it, you know. And now with the Raycing Line, I thought Adam had a podcast for a while that I saw.
Yeah.
And I thought that was kind of cool, and just sit around and you three guys talking and having a blast on, what was it, Friday nights?
Friday nights. Oh yeah, the liquor was flowing on Friday nights.
Yeah. And I always knew that these leagues were just more than just a league. We were a community, and I thought, you know what, we could do something, and to do that and introduce a lot of the Weekend Warriors and the sim guys and the racing guys, and that kind of spurred on this idea of the Raycing Line, and so that's kind of a long story, but that's kind of my background. So
you got some
yes,
you got some questions. Iron Butt is the first thing I'm seeing here. I hear you've got a plaque of that somewhere around, and then I think JG1 asked if that was a 111 over your shoulder, and I was very worried that he was talking about the 7.3 over your shoulder, but I think he said there's a silhouette back there somewhere.
Yeah, it's in that wooden plaque back up underneath the TV. That's a 111 silhouette in that plaque. And the Iron Butt was when I was huge into motorcycles for a long time, and they had an endurance stuff. And the first level of the Iron Butt was 1,000 miles in 24 hours. And you had to document when you started with a gas receipt and all your gas receipts along the way and a witness and all that, and send it all in, and you certified, and you get a certificate for. And the next level was 1,500 miles in 36 hours. Yeah, they gave you another 12 hours. And I got that level. So I've got the first two levels of the Iron Butt Awards. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. That was from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, all the way to Salt Lake City.
True.
And with a little zip up and across Cheyenne, Wyoming, all that. So
well, Stevie, let me tell you something. I just took that drive. We got a new car, obviously, for the baby from Denver, Colorado.
Yep.
Through Cheyenne, through Salt Lake City, up here to Reno, and in a car. That was a lot. So I can imagine on a bike how much that was.
It doesn't stop up there, does it?
No, it never does.
I-80 blow all over the road.
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah, I mean, at some points, man, I'm telling you, on I-80, I was like, it was me and my buddy. We were swapping. Obviously, I couldn't have done it by myself, and there was nobody on the road, so we were just we were dodging tumbleweeds. Just just kind of trying to have some fun. So that is a huge accomplishment. And I did not, when you told me about it when you came up here, I didn't realize how much of an accomplishment it was until I took that drive, and then I realized very quickly
that's only third half of it, maybe. Yeah. Go Milwaukee to Denver, and then Denver over to Salt Lake. So.
That is just extremely impressive. So. Yeah, but I mean, I guess the one thing I can say about you is I'm going to turn this into the Stevie show for a minute. Is you are a very impressive guy. To be able to assemble what you've assembled here and bring us all together like we have is something that I can honestly say I'm very honored and happy to call you a friend. And you've done some great things, and I think most of us look up to what you've done and being able to assemble a group of. I said degenerates earlier, and I meant it, degenerates. So, thank you so much, Stevie, for everything you've done for, obviously, not only the country, but for us as well.
I appreciate it. But, I say it all the time, and I mean it. The community, the races are nothing without the members, You guys are who make it up. There's Yangtze. The first Weekend Warrior League was the 28th of September, 2015. It was a Monday. So,
but that's 2015, man. Like 2015, what was I doing in 2015? I was in basic training in 2015.
Wow.
So that's
10 years of the Weekend Warriors coming up this fall. We'll have to do something special.
Oh, we absolutely will. That is,
we will have to figure out 100%. Something special. Yep. Yeah, Dan, the races are just kind of a bonus, more about the community. And that's probably like from my roots, that's the SCCA roots and the family environment and the paddock that Brian Stasinski had talked about and everything before. That's kind of, I don't know, that's my motivating factor, was to give it and have it there, and then you guys make it, so.
Yeah. Well,
and speaking of the community, we keep mentioning the figure eight race that we watched.
Oh man, the tunnies.
We were literally so after the Formula V race on Saturday, we go through the incidents like we normally do. We watched the broadcast as is tradition. Guido hosts it. We all watched the actual broadcast that Josh and Ron do. And then I don't even know how we got on this conversation topic, but
JG1.
Yeah, JG1 was like, somehow we started talking about the iRacing figure eight races.
Yeah.
And I was like, they don't actually do that in real life. That's just an iRacing week 13 thing.
No,
right?
they do. Yep.
And JG1's like, no, that's a real thing. Here's a video of one. And he just pulls up a random video, which happens to be what was like the 2022 or 2023 figure eight world championship.
They have a world championship, guys, by the way, for figure eight racing.
It was a 3-hour endurance race, and we watched the whole thing.
Oh, wow.
The entire race. We could not look away.
And the tunnies were.
Oh yeah, the Tunney family. It was a family ordeal. It was some stuff you'd see straight out of the SCCA playbook when you hear about the Stasinskis and the Tunneys. There. How many Tunneys were in that race? 4?
3 or 4, yeah. And congrats to, I think it was Austin.
Tunney
won that race. Yeah.
There was a fight.
That dude is fearless.
Yes.
So I thought it was just going to be a demo derby, and I assumed there'd be crashes all the time. But those guys are it was some serious skill. Definitely a lot of courage, but it's not all just luck. They only had 1 crash in the intersection in 3 hours.
Wow.
So yeah, shout out to them. It was it was quality entertainment. We literally couldn't stop watching it because it was every single lap. It's like, oh god, they're about to die.
Dan in trouble.
Yeah, we got Dan in trouble that night.
Yeah.
Well, none of us were expecting to still be on Discord 3 hours after the Formula V race.
No.
So I mean, yeah, just examples like that is what makes this community so cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, it's a great community. It really is. It's something I can look forward to when I do have the time to open my phone during the day. I can look through, and just nothing but good things to be said about everybody. Yep. Even the incidents and all that stuff is just everyone gets over it and they go back to work next weekend. So it's my life goal, by the way, Stevie, to create a league or to have a league where everybody gets over the incidents themselves and I don't have to intervene, but that still has yet to be seen. So, gear up, everybody, for XSLR because it is a totally different atmosphere.
Stevie does have to get involved occasionally.
Right.
Every once in a while. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's...
Jason,
that's
Jason and the review team take care of most of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, occasionally, things get a little... I won't say heated, but people get
you had some discussions.
Yeah. Differences of opinion. So but I mean, when we have to go to Stevie, that's one of the things Stevie just handles it always in the perfect way. So I was like, how did you manage to defuse that, or how did you I won't say get through to them, but it's I look up to Stevie for that, to just to keeping a level head, and knowing just how to communicate effectively with people. So,
but by the time I get to them or something, it's like most of the time they know, and I just say, this is what happened, and and this is what the issue is. So but it's all good people. So
yeah, absolutely. Stevie, let's get out of here. I got to go to work tomorrow, unfortunately.
All right. Yep, it's been a fun one. It's been a little different. Typically, we got 4 of us in here with a special guest, but you guys were the special tonight. So appreciate you. Obviously, we couldn't do it without you. Adam running all the dials and everything in the background. JG with all the reviews, the replays and everything. And
Shout out to everybody in the chat as well.
Yeah, appreciate
incredible to have everybody with us.
Our community and was awesome to have my sons in there tonight, and happy birthday to you two. And with that, I can't tell you who's going to be here next week. We haven't locked that down yet, but we will have a special guest next week. So with that, we'll call it a night. So appreciate you guys, and we'll see you next week.
Hey, by the way, make sure top left corner of this outro video.
Yeah,
top left
watch
corner.
it.
All right, bye guys.
New logo.
Appreciate your time, Frank. This gentleman has done wonders for sim racing, the real world racers that come into sim racing or go back and forth. Frank's responsible to get some guys out on track. So without further ado, Mr. Frank Swartz, Grass Paddock Motorsports, tell us what you do.
What do we call this thing? Racing Line. I'm all out of sync. We got more people to deal with this week than what I'm used to. So thanks to my co-host Jason for joining us. Adam's back this week, and as you can see, we got a 4th sitting here. Megan Oversheet is already joining us to help us do some reviews and stuff. So thank you, Megan.
Let's go, Megan.
And help us. Good evening, Greg.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Hey, we're just getting ready to review the spec racers, and since we had an announcer in the waiting room, we thought we'd go ahead and bring you in.
Well, thank you very much.
There he is.
Hey, we got him.
Hey, Jason, we got you this time.
Cheers, guys. Thanks for having me.
We won't talk about the other thing.
Our special guest for the evening, Mr. Dave Ogburn, and for Dave to introduce you to these two knuckleheads, you got.
Great to see you, Thor. Welcome to the 4th chair and the podcast this week.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It feels surreal, like finally being able to talk to you guys. You know, I've been in this league for like what 2-3 years, and yeah, finally face to face.
Yes, of course, yes.
Jeff.
I'm on the spot now, Jeff. So, welcome, Mr. Jeff Jacobson. Again, great to have you here. Thanks for taking some time out to join us.
We get to some fun part. That's why you're here, Jerry. This is our guest segment after the reviews. So thanks for sitting through with us, and
that was fun.
And
thanks.
Yeah, it's some good racing. So, well, first of all, we gotta say thank you to Trenton for taking time to come join us. He's one of the hardest working guys I know, and you can look there in the shop behind him and get an idea of what he does. So as everybody sees, we've got Darren Ganji, and if you didn't know already, he is Mr. Sim Motion, where you can get all your sim rigs and equipment and everything. He's also the sponsor of that league we were just talking about.
Okay, go ahead.
Mr. Sean Ambrose, we go back forever, back to the very early beginning days of the Weekend Warriors when it was broadcasted on another broadcast, GSRC, I don't mind saying it. Very good to us. And Sean was one of the producers, announcers, always great to talk with. So, Mr. Edgar Sancinelli, Weekend Warrior, Frito Sport Racing. I don't know what all you do, but great to have you join us tonight, Edgar.
Yes.
I'm not saying shit. Oh, see, I literally. Whatever,
Yeah,
I give up.
there you go.
I know you've had a mute for me. So,
Oh, for sure. Yeah, when you
Yeah.
just for the views when Adam and you were there. I mean, it's
yeah, it's
jeez.
Oh yeah.